Looking cool and calm. The stadium's about to erupt. They've followed them everywhere. Great player. Has to be stopped tonight, Laurie Daly. Robbie O'Davis at the back from Newcastle. Wendell Saylor, Matt Rogers. The wings, Terry Hill, Steve Renoff. In the centres, Daly and Andrew Johns are the halves. Brad Fittler, the ball player at lock. Steve Menzies, Thorne, the runners. And the workmen up front, Rodney Howe, Paul Harrigan, the chief. And Jeff Tuvey at hooker, the coaches, Bob Fulton. Reception coming up now. Matthew Ridge.
Ladies and gentlemen,
can they do it?
Please welcome the home team.
Against the best in the world. Look out. This is the other end of the coin for Ridge and company. They have to handle all this emotion of that magnificent reception.
Yeah, well, I think they're up to it as well. I mean, this is pretty much the same side that we saw out here last year.
Ridge at the back, Sean Hoppy, Richard Barnett on the wings, Blackmore, Ruben Wickie, big men in the centres, the halves of Robbie Paul, Stacey Jones. Logan Swan has certainly come of age since last year. Tony Iro, McCracken in the back row, Lomax and Pongia. The old Canberra Daily double starting up front, Henry Paul at hooker, the coach Frank Endicott. Are pumping rather fiercely here at North Harbour.
and they're swelling as well with pride.
Russell Smith, the referee tonight. 11 tests behind him. He was here for the Super League test last year. It will be a further wait still for the Aussies. So it's been a real long wait for all and sundry. Test match wins. Big result for Australia, 64-23, just the one drawn. 3 years in the making now at long last. All and sundry in Australasia back together again for Test football. Hang on to your seats, I can tell you the road ahead is all but a smooth one.
Keep back. Off we go, Andrew.
Johns with the touch down and eludes Ridge. The Australians with a chance to fly in, still inside the 10, and they do. Most important for the Kiwis to settle immediately. In these big matches, everybody seems to want to kick off.
Well, certainly things dropped just ideally for Australia to start with, but they put themselves, or they've relieved themselves with this penalty they've given away.
He's going to be hard on it. Harrigan, no doubt, stole it, had a hand in there, tried to take on the referee nice and early. Lomax down already, grabbing at the back of his neck. Certainly was a good start initially there for the Australian side. Good kick, great chase, good defence. Pongia back from suspension to take on a test match. Tony Iro had plenty of success here last year against the Aussies. And they fight their way out towards the 50. Here comes Logan Swan to take over. 3 required to put him down. Quickly out for Jones. And Robbie Paul as they try to force him back towards the middle. Tony Iro again, looking for some support. Last tackle. They find themselves on the Australian 40 metres. Jones, Bustle, had to find some open space away from Robbie O'Davis. It'll be too strong. They'll bring it back to the 20. Pretty good start for New Zealand, though. They look very confident. Forwards all willing to share the workload, charge it straight up off the ruck. Quintard sideline tonight. Magnificent atmosphere sideline for you, Tony.
Yeah, it's a perfect night down here at Albany and Auckland, and I can tell you the crowd are buzzing. That's a great start from New Zealand. That's all they've got to do is hold on to that ball, complete their sets of 6. It's going to be all on now in this first scrum, I've heard. I've got a bit of a tip. The boys are fired up, the Kiwis that is, and the Aussies are expecting some fireworks.
Tooby gets Monson. Menzies was hammered by Ruben Wiki off the ball. The Australians looked over at the touch judge. They fly in again. Pongia went searching. Search and destroy, that is, as Johns gets nice and wide. The kick away from Ridge. Awkward bounce. And this is going to be interesting to see how they kick to Ridge, who puts a real pressure ball on Sean Hoppy. Well, Ridge will be a little bit disappointed with what happened there. I think that maybe Renoff might have got his hand to it and just made it a bit difficult there for Sean Hoppy, but the horrors to start with. So already, a bit of a struggle as Lomax goes to the bench. Certainly Frank Endicott wouldn't have wanted that pass thrown there. Daly to go wide immediately. O'Davis into the line. Wiki has made 2 tremendous tackles already. They hold him down, penalty. Trying to really slow the pace down for themselves, and Matt Rogers will look for 2.
Well, that's where you do have to be careful with the emotion. Go in and make a good big tackle and then ruin it by giving away a silly penalty. Got to keep your wits about it, you and your brain tuned on.
Make your tackle, roll away, let him get up. No second
25
mistake.
out for Rogers.
Sorry, Rob. Yeah, well,
Good early test for him.
tackle were well complete there, though, Rob.
Trying to follow in the famous footsteps of his father, Steve Rogers, one of the best ever.
Make a good test.
22 years of age.
Get a six. Let him finish the
In the NRL
Dad,
competition, a 72% strike rate.
don't go to soul at the 10 metres, just hold that extra yard.
Just in. Anxious eyes on that one as the Australians break it out to 2-0. Must be a concern. Lomax was such a big plan of Frank Endicott's early on.
Be interested to see exactly what is wrong with him, but to me the big concern is the field position with this pass between Ridge and Hoppy that gave away that field position.
Now there's fumbles. Tell you what, both these sides are on edge and feeling the pinch as the Kiwis get down there quickly.
Well, I don't know about the players. I'm on edge up here. I mean, this is a great atmosphere.
Harrigan went looking for it. O'Davis just ducks right into a whole heap of trouble in the shape of Terry Hermanson. He wasn't expecting to be out there so early. Rodney Howe strongly on the short side, out past the 30. Johns looking to kick. Plenty of chases as they seek out Ridge and Hoppy again. Hoppy hangs on to this one. Tony, what's the latest on Lomax?
Yeah, he come walking straight past me there. I spoke to the physio. He may have a pinched nerve. He got belted in the back of the neck. They're in the dressing room now working on him, trying to get him back on the paddock.
That is real problems as Blackmore goes in to assist the forwards. Hermanson just straight through Turvey. McCracken fires himself up, runs through Andrew Johns as this terrific crowd gets behind them again. Early days as Henry Tall gets out of dummy half. Stacey Jones for O'Davis. Mile of chases down there in black and white. They nail him, hammering.
Logan Swan up there leading the chase. That was a sensational tackle. Kiwi's got a lift now in defence. Try and force that error. Get the ball back.
The Australians are really bunched. Just rocked for a moment as the hustle and bustle continues. Harrigan. He gets held. Huge hit from Terry Hermanson. Fittler might just be the key that everybody's forgotten about tonight. Johns finally with the kick. And Hoppy once more, this time with some space. Terrific tackle from Renoff, but they've already got it back at the 50.
Yeah, good return straight away. The thing that's impressive so far is the way that New Zealand forwards are picking out the little men in the Australian line and running over the top of them.
Bit of one out, both sides struggling to get in support and any flow in attack.
Well, I think you've got to play one-out football at this stage of the game. That's a big blow for Australia.
Robbie O'Davis, he goes to the bench as the Kiwis set up on the 30 for Stacey Jones. Logan Swan nice and wide. Now the crowd saw plenty. Russell Smith saw plenty. Somebody's been called out for a warning on a high shot. Fittler it is, just grabbed at him.
Well, good running across the park there. He was on a bit of an angle there, Logan Swan. Copped a high shot, no doubt whatsoever, from Brad Fittler.
Really has improved and up against one of the best in the biz. Ridge from nearly 30 out.
But you talk about those one-out tactics. That is the way to go at this stage of the game. I mean, both sides do not want to make a mistake of any type whatsoever. So it's a test of strength.
29. Great goal kicker, drives this one low and hard, but where else? Right down the middle. We're back to the square. 2 apiece.
Field position so important in any match, particularly a test match. You cannot play in your own half. These guys will kick it deep, chase down, try and force another error like they did last time they were down here.
Everybody's involved here. Hermanson has been powerful.
He's just a typical South Island forward, puts his head down, pulls his finger out and goes straight ahead.
Robbie, no, it's Henry Paul who's got out a dummy half nice and quick. Caused them trouble in the World Cup from dummy half, and again there.
Well, he knows how to milk it. Like, he's an agile little kid, this bloke. He's not a little kid, he's 20-odd, but he milked this penalty good, I think. He just threw a little bit of a dummy, got tackled here, wasn't held down on the ground, but he just kicked out like he does in the UK. Up comes a penalty for the Kiwis.
Hermanson again. I mentioned Robbie O'Davis. What's the concerns in the Aussie camp, Toddy?
Yeah, there's major concerns down here on the bench with his knee. Looks like he's either torn a cartilage or maybe major trouble with his knees. So he is in a lot of bother.
Both sides are going to have trouble covering everybody tonight. McCracken back on the inside. O'Davis. Robbie Paul for Tony Iro. Dummying all the way out to the wing. The Kiwis put it down. Very slippery conditions after showers earlier tonight here.
That's one back off, Kiwis, quickly.
Well, that ball jolted out there, but you'll see the Australians aren't going to play an expansive game at all. Well, they got it knocked down there.
Good hit from Reuben Wiki.
Hand in there. The ball was stripped.
Well, how many were in the tackle? Was there more than one?
Well, doesn't matter how many was in it. It's already a penalty now, and that's what counts. Tuvey just popping out of there. Couple in there to start with, but I thought it was one-on-one to finish.
Wait.
Rodney Howe keeps on working on this short side. Brad Thorne nearly overran the dummy halfers. Richie Barnett comes flying in to assist the forwards. Fiddler loves to edge away, come back off either feet. Andrew Johns looked outside, then inside for Menzies. Lockyer. Dean Pay on as well in 17 for Terry Hill as the Australians go inside the 20. First real chance for either side.
Well, that was good play from Terry Hill. He got a bad ball, but he picked it up, no worries.
Lockyer scored 2 tries here last year. Straight across the paddock for Daly. Back for Andrew Johns. They keep their line on the inside. One more tackle only left. Fiddler. They take it to the line into the in goal. Way too deep.
Well, New Zealand weathered that storm very, very well. But the Australians showing a good professional touch there, just applying pressure all across the park.
Coffey. Penalties just to the Kiwis. Punishing stuff on Logan Swan from Renoff. Hermanson. Still we wait for Joe Vagana. Quentin Pongia with a good ball out. Good support amongst the forwards.
I think that's one of the differences between the two sides. Big Joe there, he wants to get in and rip into them. But one of the differences between the two sides, in my opinion, I think there's more forwards in the Kiwi pack that can offload the ball.
Last tackle against them. Ridge trying to find some open spaces. Looks like it might be all too easy for Lockyer. Jones down there. And Logan Swan. Difficult man to contain.
Yeah, well, it's a shattering blow for O'Davis and also for the Australian side. To be able to bring a player like Lockyer on, it's a huge bonus.
2 apiece. Edging away from their own danger zone, the Aussies. Thorne.
All the way back, Richie. Robbie, you're not getting with me, Henry.
Support from Dean Pay as they take it out towards the 50 on the last tackle. Johns.
Don't drop on each other.
Plenty of time to find his mark. He's going to set up a midfield bomb for Ridge. Again, he goes out looking for Hoppy, thinks better of the pass back this time. On the back of his mind, the earlier incident.
Yeah, well, he might have got the hook from Frank Endicott if he had put another one on.
Barnett from the far wing has gone in search of some possession. Big arm wrestle. Rodney Howe went looking for Quinton Ponga. Saw him coming. Joe Banganar out there to fire things up. Tony Iro right down the middle to the 50. Last tackle. Ridge on a short side. Down towards the corner pocket. Lockyer read it well. Terrific chasing from Robbie Paul and Stacey Jones. Matt Rogers. Logan Swan shows just how strong he is. Now Menzies. Tremendous pace to the game. Still they haven't settled in attack.
No, well, they're playing patient football at the moment, the Australian side. Quite prepared to take the hard tackles the Kiwis are coming up with. Probably hoping that they'll wear themselves out.
Something's got to give, Toddy.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's like Paddington Station down here, though. The most coaches have used a lot of subs already. Just shows the impact and how tough it was in that first 10 minutes. I was talking to Bobby Fulton before the game, the Australian coach. He said to me that they're just going to absorb that first 20 minutes of the Kiwis. They know it's going to be tough and then ignite after that. So let's see if it happens.
Midfield. Still both sides running one out a lot as Barnett hammers his way down the middle. McCracken from a long, long way back. Dean Pay put a good shot on him. Parramatta teammates. That is forgotten for tonight. Joe Banganar. It'll be head-to-head with Rodney Howe, Tony Iro and Stacey Jones. All the way back. Neither side being able really to find a way through.
No, there's not much organisation with both sides at the moment because the pressure from the defence is so intense.
Dean Pay has the ability to unload, look for support runners like Fittler.
The danger about playing one-out football is you can get sucked into a negative brand that goes for the 80 minutes. So they do have to be careful, both teams.
Fittler. Daly. Dean Pay. Nick Kosef. Nearly everybody's got to start.
And now Nick Kosef is on. I think they've got more ball players now in the forward pack. We'll start seeing a few short passes. Great defence.
Now, did that come off the hands of New Zealand? It did. Ruben Wiki knocked it down, so they'll get 6 more. Rogers does a 360, finds his way, ends up back in New Zealand territory. Wendell Saylor. This is what they like, control of the ball, back-to-back, sets of 6. Plenty of pressure. So many players to use it to great advantage.
Oh, we saw a good piece of footwork there from Johns. A bit of twinkle toes.
Terry Hill. Kosef already getting involved, taking the pressure off the likes of Johns, Daly and Fittler. On the inside is Pay, ran as a decoy for Menzies. Got away from one. Lockyer, here's miles of green and gold. Inside, then outside, brilliantly worked. They found that 4 into 2 goes pretty easy.
Well, this was a good try here from the Australian team. Terry Hill has been involved heavily throughout the first part of this game. Good passing movement, a planned move. Pretty ordinary pass here from Laurie Daly, well picked up. But just have a look at the numbers on this side. Great pass to start with from Menzies. Just look at these numbers. Inside, outside from Kosef. Straight over to Terry Hill. He's been under pressure, but good try.
Yes, it was. Just holding onto the ball and being able to offload. Menzies there was tremendous stuff. Passing on to Jeff Tuvey. They were always going to score from this position. New Zealand just going to have to stop this and wrap the ball up.
Terry Hill had plenty to say after the try. Had a bit of a dust-up with Richie Barnett. Grabs the opening try. And again, that extra possession, extra set of 6 that adds up.
Yeah, well, it all boils down to mistakes. You just cannot make mistakes at test-level football, particularly against the Australians, because they just swoop on you.
From about 8 in from the sideline for Rogers.
You've got to say, though, that Terry Hill has looked very impressive for this opening part of the game. Received 2 balls under pressure and handled them well, and now come up with a try.
Hooks this one away. So it is just the try in it. Australia 6-2. Certainly has been tough for everybody. Frank Endicott worrying, I think, about the Kiwis getting their attacking game in order.
Come on, don't have a penalty for the sake of a metre.
Reg to call the shots, get us underway again.
John, let's get a full 10. Don't let me have to go 40 metres to penalise you.
A lot of deflation after a try against you like that. These guys have put a lot of effort in defence. Been running hard with the ball, and they're behind on the scoreboard, so they know they've got to strike back themselves quickly.
They need the fumble down at this end. Lazarus out there to get involved, out past the 20. Fettler as a decoy. Tuvey will certainly run a lot from dummy half, more so the second half. Menzies. Lomax Tully looking unlikely to ever get back in this one.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back on the field tonight. They have taken him away and just precautionary x-ray, so unfortunate for him in the first couple of minutes.
Certainly makes it difficult for the balance of New Zealand's interchange.
Yeah, well, it does, but I mean, that's what Test footy's all about.
Come on, win, Henry. 5.
It's got to adapt to the conditions.
Fittler.
And they have got the players, the Kiwis, to be able to adapt tonight.
No pressure on the kickers at all. Ridge.
Oh,
Still persists back to Barnett.
Well, I mean, the trouble is with those sort of plays, you're running across field. You're an easy shot for a hard-hitting defensive line.
Sense that the Australians have lifted since that Terry Hill try. Hoppy. Heavy tackle from Andrew Johns. Pongia. Motors his way up the middle. Hands in there. Checks with his touch judge. This is what costs you. We talked about it before the game. You don't control the ball, you're going to get burnt.
Well, Dean Pay looking quite innocent there. Got Quinton Ponga trying to get up. Just looked like he dropped it out the back.
Russell Smith looked both sides, got no call. Here they come again. Fittler at 5'8" this time.
That's
great ball. Great ball on all tackle on Ranoff. Kosef.
Notice the Australian forwards also hitting the advantage line quite well at the moment. They're really making sure they get that extra 2 or 3 metres taking the ball forward.
Fittler. Lockyer in support. Just starting to build, just starting to support each other again. Andrew Johns sighted a gap. Great footwork. Nearly got behind the line. Nicely covered up by Logan Swan. One more tackle. Daly. Did they play at it? Who's got it? Now, he's suggesting that the Kiwis knocked it on. Who did? This is a very important call. It'll be a third set of 6. Right on the 20, more possession.
Get into scrum, Logan. Get into.
Big effort to hang on here. Lockyer. Terry Hill. Tried to slow him right down just outside the 10. Kosef.
Advantage there of the, or an example of the advantage line running there. Kosef hitting the ball on the line.
Harrigan right into Javangana, right in front of the posts, putting everything into this set of 6. Australia. Daly nice and wide with plenty of runners as well. Menzies on the inside. Foot paid right on the 10 metres. Johns. Fittler. Hit the line superbly. Desperate tackle from Tony Iro. On the last. Daly again, just chipping. Barnett needs support. Matt Rogers knocks it back. They've got it. Don't worry about that. He's going to go upstairs.
Run it back from the start, make sure they're onside. I've got feeling he's behind onside.
Well, the call now goes to Graham Annesley. He's the video ref. It looked a fair try to me.
Yeah, that's a try.
Well, the contest was even in the air. He did want to check were they onside. I don't think there was a problem with that. Okay. So it looks like Terry Hill's got a double. Everybody's clear.
Well, we can see the numbers there. There's 4 Australian jumpers going up there. That's a fair try. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, great communication there from Laurie Daly. They all knew what was going on. Fantastic kick, and Terry Hill was the man on the spot. And he comes up with another good try to Australia.
Disappointed joint about to get the decision. Someone's going to tell us soon, we hope. So all of a sudden they get a roll on.
Well, very important now that not only do New Zealand have to defend from this kickoff to try and force an error, they've got to start expanding their own game. Come up with similar plays to this. This was a well-weighted kick, but look at those numbers. 4 green and gold jumpers going through there. Difficult for Richie Barnett. He was on his own. He was isolated. You wouldn't be a winger for anything.
Turn it up. Turn it up, Lowe. I'd love to have been a winger.
But you had no chance.
Scoring all those tries.
Rogers, 5 metres in. Hits this one superbly. They're going to stretch it by some more. On fire. Plenty of possession coming their way. They are in control at the moment. 12-2.
Well, you said the word control. That man there, Terry Hill, he's having a picnic out there at the moment. I think he's showing already the best form he's shown this year. Been pretty quiet for Manly apart from last Friday night. But control's the word. The Australians are controlling the game. They're playing it at their pace. New Zealand's put all their eggs in the basket with hard-hitting defence in the first 20 minutes. They come up with some errors. Now they've got to expand on that and try and create some try-scoring movements.
Let him up. That's one weight, lad.
Need something to break their way. Need quite a bit of possession next 5 minutes or so.
Release, hands off.
The thing that I worry about at this stage of the game is against Australia is we haven't really seen Laurie Daly or Brad Fittler. I mean, those guys explode into the game and anything can happen. They're just playing part of the team footy at the moment.
Rodney Howe.
Paul, get off Ben.
Strongly back out towards halfway for Andrew Johns to take over out towards Barnett. First time he's gone to this wing. Nearly knocked it on. Nearly dragged it forward. Now, Terry Hill went in with a forearm. Extremely late. Had plenty to say to each other after the first try.
Yeah, just a bit of a square up that from Terry Hill. Both of them have got to get on with the game.
Conked it nice and late, hitting behind the head.
It was a big-time wrestling tackle, that one.
Joe Vangana. Time to hit back.
Joe should probably try and aim for the edges of the ruck a little bit more. Just maybe get one player wider out.
Robbie Paul. Standing a bit flat out wide. Wasn't a great deal of depth to that. Tony Iro. Taken by Harrigan and Fittler. 35 away. Trying to spark it up. Jones. In behind. Out towards the sideline. They'll take the scrum.
Well, now they've got this field position. They've just got to try through their defence. We see a good kick here from Stacey Jones. They've got field position. They've got to try and force an error. And that's a real hard thing against the Australian side. They actually annoy you because they don't take too many risks.
Really need to make things happen. Try and create a bit of their own luck now, Toddy.
Yeah, well, New Zealand a little bit unlucky to be so far down because that first 20-25 minutes they played so well. The big hits were going. Unfortunate about Johnny Lomax, a couple of their key players, but Australia, to their credit, have hung in there. They've absorbed all the punishment New Zealand have given them. And as Lowy said before, wait for Fittler and those guys to, or Daly just to ignite, and this is the time they're going to do it.
Sailor, good strong defence. The Kraken's back out there after being stitched. Turvey. Rodney Howe. Fittler. With support, not a good ball for Harrigan. Did well to take that under pressure. Swinging arm that missed there from Pongia. Johns once more. Ridge, beautifully on the run. 7 and 8 Australians down there on the chase.
Yeah, good tactics from the Australian side. Isolating Ridgie. Not a big man, so they know if they get up there in numbers, he's no threat to them.
Tony Iro, he'll need support, goes alone. Nobody there with him. They are on their heels. They need something to give.
The trouble is not being on the heels, starting to run across the field. That's the problem.
Robbie Paul. Just haven't got together as a full back line as yet. The Kraken. Sheer strength is not just going to do it against the best team in the world. Lockyer. Big numbers have got to go down looking against him. They've come up with 4 line breaks against the 2.
So they're putting more skill on the New Zealand side. What the Kiwis are coming up with, that's the big difference. Changing the angle of the run every now and then.
Terry Hermanson went in for the biggest shot of the year. Just missed. Here's another one, but Rodney Howe stood his ground and put down Tony Iro. Fittler.
Tony Iro looks a little bit sick in the background there as well.
Turvey switching. Andrew Johns on the last. They're going to try and run it a little now for Ridge. Force back up the middle. Doing things so much quicker at the moment.
Well, they're going to have to get Tony Iro off really quick because he's in Disneyland at the moment, just wandering around out there. They've only got 12 players.
Big question here to pick up the pace, Toddy.
Well, they certainly do. They've got to pull something out of the bag. They need a try before half-time, and they can't do it like this. They've got to go back to those basics, just going forward, controlling the ball, getting back to what the coach wanted them to do. And, well, just another mistake. Australia playing so well at the moment.
They are bustled. Barnett in all sorts of trouble, but they have been bustled. He's in trouble with dislocated finger. Tony Iro still in trouble.
Tony Iro had a go at Rodney Howe and came off second best. Both big men.
Ridge over quickly to talk amongst the forwards. But it is again another handling mistake and again another scrum feed down near the 20.
Well, the Australian side are getting up in their faces in defence at the moment. That's what's happening. They're just forcing those errors. Well, they're forcing New Zealand to pass the ball when it's not on.
Nigel Bunganar gets the call. That means everybody, bench and all, has been involved in this test. We're still about 9 minutes before half-time. Tony Iro's out of here. Very much a case of the walking wounded. Plenty of confidence for a hard-working Australian side. Fittler. Lockyer. Terry Hill. Looking for a hat-trick. Thorne. Rodney Howe to set it up right towards the post. Create a bigger blindside for them as well. Lockyer hangs down there as a threat. Andrew Johns wide on the open side. Straight across Lazarus for Daly, who throws out an awkward one. Sits up nicely for Wendell Sailor. Back for Menzies. They rush up. Better defence. They need plenty more of that. Lazarus to set it straight again. These personal duels are not being won at the moment by New Zealand. They're bouncing out of tackles. Johns already found one out right against Barnett. Nigel Barnett takes it well.
Well, that was great work from the young kid there. He was under plenty of pressure with the green and golds coming through, but he never took his eyes off the ball, and he's diffused a very, very sticky situation.
They need to at least hang till half-time to regroup, check these injuries, regather some thoughts. Can't afford anything else before half-time.
But I do think that they've carried on the first 20 minutes tactics into the second part of this first half.
Great run from Pongia, great ball up, great support. Henry Paul, likewise. Stacey Jones puts the foot down. Ridge, so much better. Brave effort to come back. Last tackle. Can they chase him down? Lockyer over in a real hurry. Here comes Hoppy. They fly in. Oh, that's magnificent from Lockyer to get back into the field of play. Terrific passage. Sailor now as they try and keep them inside the 10. Can they find something in this set of 6?
Well, if they ever needed to force an error, it's now, because New Zealand need to score before half-time. But they have got themselves down in this good field position by putting a little bit of skill on. That was the difference in the last couple of minutes.
Here's the fumble. So the door is just slightly ajar. McCracken. Back for Jones. Ridge. Kevin Iro wide. Back on the inside now. Shovels it back. Heavy tackle from Fittler. Robbie Paul for Wiki. He's been forced to the second row. Hermanson has support from Pongia. Lazarus with a heavy shot right in front of his own post. About 18 out. They stay with Robbie Paul. And a brilliant stop. He needed somebody on his inside. Extra quick play the ball. Wiki. Henry Paul. Pongia. Pongia still. Maybe to the corner. Kevin Iro's got it. I'll tell you what, there's a bit of courage in all of this.
Well, this was great work from the New Zealand Kiwis. They gained good field position, they forced the error, they applied a bit of skill. Great work from Quinton Pongia, but have a look at Robbie Paul. A well-pushed pass here to Kevin Iro, who hit the gap with perfect timing.
Yes, Robbie Paul there was the man, though. And also this big fella here, the big front row, he's holding the ball out in front of him. He's showing it. And, wow, Kevin Iro just ran straight into the gap, and that's a great try to New Zealand.
They're back. Hill was forced to come in, but this was set up by the courage of hanging on at the other end and coming back all the way. Held up right to the final second for Kevin Iro. Ridge. This will bring the house down. Round it comes, shaves the post. But he knows they have bounced back just when they needed to. Plenty of injured out there for both sides, especially the Kiwis, but it is 12-6. Real buzz again up around North Harbour Stadium.
Well, what the Kiwis do know now is they put a bit of skill on and they can come up with a result. That's all that try came from. It came from their own end of the park. They put that bit of skill on, got field position, forced an error and came up with the points.
Joe Vagana to wind up. Hasn't found any room as yet. Pongia. Short ball up Wiki. Good support. Can they find the lift that the first Terry Hill try gave for Australia? Lazarus was getting involved there. Ridge. Down for Lockyer. Blackmore. Good tackle. Sailor.
Australia just a bit back on the heels at the moment. They're shell-shocked from that try because it came quite easily in the end.
Up for Dean Payne. Just taking a little bit of wind out of their sails. Harrigan tries to put it back in there. Tongia with a good tackle. Nearly caused the fumble too. Ball hit the deck. Now a long one out for Terry Hill.
Release him.
Finished off by Nigel Vagana. Andrew Johns. Fittler. Menzies nice and wide. Well put down by Blackmore. Last tackle. Fittler to some open spaces. Ridge in a hurry. Happy to take the tackle on his own 20, getting down towards the last 2.5.
Well, that's all Matthew Ridge needs to do when they kick it to him. Just take the tackle.
Kevin Iro. Now Joe Vagana searches them out up the middle. Harrigan went looking, so did Fittler. Penalty has to come, surely. Now they'll go down the other end, pick up a bit of space, bit of territory, get another 6.
Yeah, well, the two bulls at one another here. Paul Harrigan giving young Joe Vagana a little bit of a serve, being helped there from Brad Fittler. That's what brought the penalty about. Wasn't a lot in it.
They've found something. They've had to dig pretty deep, buddy.
Well, certainly there's a lot of courage out there shown from these guys. They're just playing on pure heart now, the Kiwis. They know they want to try and get one in. This is their last hope just before half-time.
Vagana again attracts miles of attention. Kiwi chant up around North Harbour. Can they find another one? Tony Iro is back out there. Finds Kevin. Robbie Paul, nice and wide and deep. Stacey Jones takes it to the line. Tries to get it back inside. I think this will still come up for the Australians because the Stacey Jones pass was forward.
Yeah, well, Stacey taking the line over, taking the line on there, but did throw the ball forward. That's why the Australians are going to get the feed.
Make sure we get up quicker down in that far corner. Don't hold on.
Down to the last 60. Tuvey gets a spell. Kosef straight out into the hooking roll.
Big 5, Kiwi.
Big push coming in from New Zealand. Tongia not happy about it. Neither's Rodney Howe.
Let him in, lads. In together, come on, let's get in then. Get in, Rodney. Get the ball in.
Sailor. Off his wing.
Release him, Matthew, 1.
When you think you can get back, just when you think you can put them on their heels, they are still at their most dangerous.
Who?
Australia. Thorne. How it is. Thought you might ask the question.
I think the Kiwis are the ones looking pretty dangerous at the moment.
Johns. Miles in numbers. He couldn't get it to Lockyer. They had an overlap.
Well, great defence from Big Joe Vagana on the 5'8" Laurie Daly.
Johns. Time gone. Rodney Howe to finish with it. Australia started to grab control midway through this first 40 of the test. But a magnificent comeback from the... I think they just about have it on the injury toll as well. Davis was out early for the Australians. But John Lomax went missing in the first 60 seconds, off for x-rays, not to be back. But they are within 6. So important to settle and find the right style of play in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, they've just got to make sure they don't make any mistakes at all. I mean, both coaches would have said that. Can't afford to make a mistake in that first 5 minutes. But I think it's very important that they put some skill on, back one another up. He's been doing a pretty good job there, I think, Russell Smith. They've got to back one another up and put that skill on.
Ridge.
Matthew.
Kiwi skipper with the restart. 40 ahead for everybody. Got to find at least 6. Lockyer. Back for Rodney Howe. Massive arm wrestle amongst the forwards.
Hands off, hands off.
Thorne.
2 hands off.
Already out towards the 30. Harrigan with a strong run.
Get off.
Crowd of over 24,000 announced here at North Harbour. Tuvey mentioned earlier that he will continue to run a lot more from dummy half in the second 40. Fittler looking to set himself for a left foot step. Now back on the inside. Andrew Johns. Last tackle. I'll be more than happy with this restart. Oh, not now. Fittler looked away, trying to push the pass.
Well, Brad Fittler, one of the great players in the world. It shows they all do make mistakes. It was a pretty bad one there, and a timely one for New Zealand.
Pongia. Even more problems from half-time for the Kiwis, Tuddy.
Yeah, Richie Barnett's got a broken bone in his hand. He's sitting down on the bench right now. We're not sure whether he's going to go on. Maybe if they can take it up, he will go back on the field. Also Lomax, if he gets back in time from hospital, they're saying they're going to try and put him on if the x-rays are clear.
Struggling balance for Endicott in this second half for interchange. Joe Wagner has drawn a lot of attention since he got out there. Jones. Can he find the way through? Can he get them home? Henry Paul. Bridge staying up in the line. To Tony Iro. Back on the inside. McCracken. Blackmore. The shift is on. Logan Swan. Not really expecting it. Got an awful bounce.
Well, that's dumb football because no one wanted the ball there. That was just catching pass to one another. It was silly stuff. And this is what comes of it. They'll be disappointed with themselves, the Kiwis.
Just don't seem to be getting settled with any definitive half or 5/8.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is that the Paul boys are individual players. They're not team players. I'm thinking they're probably dominating that ruck area a little bit too much. See, Stacey Jones in attack is playing about 3 wide.
As good as they have played, but you're probably right, they haven't settled on a back line, handling mistakes, hurting the Kiwis. A couple extra. Tuvey again darting out. Andrew Johns, the difference, he and Daly always getting together. Not so for Stacey Jones and Robbie Paul. Lockyer. 40 metres away, down to their last tackle. Bit of pressure this time on Andrew Johns.
Run into him, play on, run into the man.
Johns ended up on his back. Russell Smith said there was nothing to it. Yet again they fumble it. This is nothing but suicide.
Joe Vagana knocked on, trying to get the ball away.
How many chances can you offer someone as good as Australia?
You just can't offer them one. Joe Vagana hanging right out there in the centres. He got the ball probably when he wasn't expecting it. He tried to run like a centre and that was the result.
Stay in the pack.
Quickly out the back. Fittler at 5'8". They've continued to switch a number of times. They give it straight back. Here's a bonus. Robbie Paul.
Let him up quickly.
Unusual for Australia to let anybody off the hook in that situation. Blackmore.
That's one.
Logan Swan.
And that's a good run.
Back off.
Took it on the advantage line. 3 defenders into him.
Jones. Tony Iro for Kevin. The brothers getting together as he fights with them. Again looking for support. And a chance here. Needed to go wide quickly. Blackmore in behind Saylor and then Lockyer. He loses it. They've got it. Unbelievable. Now there's trouble. Now there's hope. Real hope. Forget about the Kiwi fumbles. It is catching for both sides.
Well, great try here for New Zealand because they put a bit of skill on catch and pass. Every player in position this particular time. Once again, the Pauls played a major role in it. But great work there from big Richie Blackmore. This was a horror mistake here. Wendell Sailor something similar last year. He'll be having nightmares. Great try.
Yes, if you're prepared to do things, sometimes a bit of luck comes on your way. The Kiwis are prepared to throw that ball. Now, Richie Blackmore, there wasn't really anything on here. Puts a nice chip kick through, but just watch the bad mistake from Australia. And Sean Hoppy's there to clean it up, and that's a great try for New Zealand. They're right back in this one. That's really going to pump them up.
Reg adds another 2. We're back to where we started. The Kiwis answering the call, the real challenge from Australia, 12 apiece. Remarkable. Can't believe that Lockyer put that one down. Reg keeps his cool, traps it, back for Hoppy.
Well, he was the player that dropped it in the back line to start with.
Whoever hangs onto it might just win.
Well, it's now a test of professionalism between both sides. And ticking.
To their defence, we spoke to players involved in the pre-match build-up to Army-Navy guys. They said how difficult the conditions were out there, really greasy.
Yeah, it is very greasy, but I mean, you've got millions of dollars worth of footy talent out there. Shouldn't make the difference everybody says.
Joe Vangana steams up the engine room. Henry Paul.
So clever on their feet, both Henry and Robbie Paul. You can get Stacey Jones in there as well. I mean, they're a real handful, that trio.
And a good kick from Reg too. Weighted down to the in goal. Here they come. Black and white army. Oh, again! I just do not believe it. What a tackle. The impact. Heavens. They were down in huge numbers. And Blackmore late on the last one might set up another one here. Lockyer again.
He's been sensational out there with his defence. Probably the best centre on the field at this moment. Lockyer, gee whiz, for the young fella being such a talented player. He want to crawl on the ground somewhere. He'd be looking for a hole to get into.
Awesome atmosphere. Now they get behind them. Robbie Paul. Special move worked at training, perhaps for Hoppy. Now for Nigel Vangana. Just 13 metres away for Kevin Iro. Make that 10.
Release, Paul.
Robbie Paul, Stacey Jones. Back up the middle. Quickly away for Reg to try and dummy his way through. Look for support. Did the right thing. Henry Paul. Tried to catch them napping from dummy half, looking for a quick play of the ball. It might still be on. No, they've lost it short of the line. Good quick play of the ball. They nearly grabbed it. They fumbled.
Well, Henry Paul did everything except score the try himself. After that, it was a bit of panic. The gap was there. The opportunity was there.
Logan Swan, I think, who tried to stay nice and low, only had to hang on his fingertips. He would have cut the chalk.
But what a great job Henry Paul did in getting that position to start with. He had 3 tacklers on him, and he still managed to get up first and get the ball play. They're back to the wall at the moment, the Australian side. They're back on their heels. They've got to dig deep and show what they're worth.
Brad Thorne does that. Tuvey. Good quick run from him. The handling mistake still against the Kiwis. Lazarus out there quickly, looking for the experienced man. Tuvey didn't know who was supposed to get it. Gets punished right on the 50. The crack. And hurting too. Johns, now all of a sudden the last couple of plays they've put some pressure on the kick. Nigel Vangana does the right thing, leaves it alone. But they really have taken the heat out of all of that by going right down the other end.
Well, it was great professional play from Australia, working the ball from their own goal line, nothing fancy. Come up with the good kick.
Long walk back as they slow it for this scrum.
I don't think I've seen so many important mistakes in a test match in recent years by such skilled players.
Got to come off the chest, yeah.
Pressure taking its toll, Toddy, of some pretty big names.
Well, it certainly is, and you're saying about how slippery it is out there. It's very, very slippery underfoot. The guys have got to really concentrate on ball security. New Zealand now have to just hit that ball out, hit the ball up as best they can, and just get a good kick and chase it. I tell you what, you reckon there's 24,000 there. When New Zealand do something electric and something really magic, you think there's 124,000. I tell you, it's fantastic on the sideline.
Just outside the 20. Logan Swan takes on Fittler.
Oh, back off, lads.
Robbie Paul.
Hands off, quickly, Glenn.
He's just a real thorn for them at the moment. He holds the ball out in front of him. He's clever off both feet.
Ridge saw that Lockyer had come back to the sideline, kicked out to the open side, found Matt Rogers.
He's run 10 metres.
Pongia had a strong game tonight.
Quickly, back off. Stand square. Come on.
Kosef.
We're trying to get out of the
Fulton
way.
continues to quickly use that interchange. There's a bit more firepower now with a heavy Kiwi injury count hurting them. Dean Pace thrown back by Logan Swan, McCracken over the top.
That's pretty ordinary play from Australia, not getting anywhere at all.
Daly. Terry Hill. Ball went astray out towards Rogers. Reuben Wiki just threw himself into the play. Last tackle. Is there more pressure on the kick? Johns just gets it in. Hoppy. Come up with a lot of work tonight, especially in the first 40 when they needed him.
Release quickly.
Strong front on tackle there from Steve Renoff.
Ridge.
Two, hands off, hands off.
Starting to get itself into a position like the first 40, midway through, where they
Get off, get off.
knew it was such a big arm wrestle. Something had to give. The Australians got on top now. Again, we're waiting for something to crack.
As soon as they're in range, I wouldn't be waiting too long for a field goal, both sides. Still plenty of time left in the game, but just psychologically, to be in front is much better.
Stacey Jones right on halfway. Ridge, plenty of time to wait this one again. This is where they came up with a fumble. The crowd on edge thinking they can smell another chance. Now Lockyer's lost it. Can you believe it? 3 times in a row for Lockyer.
Dropped a little bit of a serve there from Jared McCracken. That wouldn't have helped them at all. But just look how he's handling the ball to start with. He should have had a voice on it.
It's almost like I was trying to say you could feel that something was on edge.
Well, Bob Fulton might have to look at shifting him around somewhere. Just take a bit of heat off him.
Stacey Jones. Ridge packing a short side with Blackmore. Henry Paul goes with Jones on the open. Now for Robbie Paul. Now for Kevin Iro. Kevin Iro looking for his second.
Let him out, quickly, walk.
They are but 1 metre away. Back for Henry. Fumble out for Stacey Jones. He did well to go back and support him.
Hands off.
Stacked all on one side, the Kiwis. They go looking for Pongia, then for Logan Swan.
Clean release. Come on.
Australians under enormous pressure. Jones. Jones looking for Wiki. Gets hammered by Big Glenn Lazarus over the top and held down in front of the post for a long time. Henry Paul quickly. Robbie Paul inside. Hermanson's grabbed it. Hermanson's going to try. Unbelievable. I mentioned there's real hope, real trouble now. Forget about all of that. The big upset on the cards. Maybe these guys don't think of it as an upset.
We'll just have a look at the pause involved once again. But good big Terry Hermanson backing up on the inside. Front rowers, Toddy. That doesn't happen too often when they don't miss him, though.
No, great stuff there from Hermanson, but thanks to Lockyer for putting us in this position. But they hit the blind side, the Kiwis. Nice little inside ball, and in these conditions, a big front like that's going to slide over. He does it. It was quite a tough try. Still a bit of work to do, but he showed so much power, Hermanson. Great try, and you should hear the crowd. That has just set them alight.
Unbelievable. Back on the inside. They worked this beautifully. just held up enough to create the half chance for Hermanson. Talk about strength. Ridge, this to really put it to Australia. Just listen to the roar. Need I say any more? New Zealand, show of heart here at North Harbour, and now the skill to send it to 18-12. Talk about test matches. Rather large party here in Auckland tonight. Australia now having to come from behind. Plenty of time left, miles of it. Building up into a terrific encounter.
Well, psychologically, I think that's absolutely fantastic for the Kiwis. They came up like nothing was fluky about it. And look at Big Joe, how he's lifted himself. That try was just done with skill. Got to be a penalty to New Zealand.
Had to come, it's all falling nicely. Real mess in the play, the ball. He's had an excellent game, Russell Smith. Tony Ira. He gives it back now, almost seemingly Australia's chance to climb into it.
The mistakes we keep talking about them, but gee, the power of the tackles, that's the thing. There's so much power going into the tackles, and some of these players are carrying the ball in tight situations in one hand.
Showers were here for quite a while before the kick-off, about 45 minutes. Oh, heavy stuff in the middle. Now Harrigan loses it. They are on their feet over everything here. Harrigan far from happy, said the ball went back.
Well, have a look at Paul Harrigan here. He was smashed there. Ruben Wiki once again in the middle of the park. Quinton Ponga, he's just hunting for them. He's like a shark out there at the moment. He smells blood and he wants more of it.
Against the feed. Renoff hardly seen the ball all night.
Let him off. That's one release. Get quicker.
Rodney Howe. Should have been New Zealand down the other end. Now they've got to defend. Tuvey quickly for Daly. Andrew Johns getting very wide with Fittler. Showed the ball, nearly got behind the line. Joe Bungenhart warned to stay away from the head.
Get him down, go, Joe. Swing an arm. Starting on the back of the net.
Well, Joe Bungenhart going in with a high tackle there, but the dangerous thing was Joe was actually way up in the centres. And that's nowhere for a front row to defend. Those little bugs will step inside you all the time.
Now, Australia confidently had a chance at an easy 2 to set up the win. They've just gone looking immediately for a try. Big call from Daly. Harrigan. Hammered again, forced to go back to Johns.
Let him off, back off, facing one.
Tuvey. Dean Pay. They've backed themselves to find 4 or 6. Fittler. Things are getting desperate even with so much time still on the clock. Daly in a dummy half. Rodney Howe. Looking for runners, finds Lockyer, trying to make up for some of those handling mistakes. Harrigan, used as a decoy for Andrew Johns, who was standing wide 30 metres from that play of the ball. Terry Hill, thrown to the turf, forced to go down to the bomb. Very wide, they'll look for Saylor. And Daly, and Hoppy will have to handle it. Oh, who's got it? And who touched it? They're going to have to handle 6 more. Came off New Zealand.
Well, real pressure for New Zealand, but they've shown throughout the game they can handle it. Off a New Zealand player. They've got to handle it again now. 6 tackles against a very desperate Australian side whose big guns have got to fire in these next 6 tackles.
Toughest thing in the game to come up with back-to-back sets of 6, especially against these guys. New Zealand have milked it for as much time as possible. Ridge still on a slow march back.
Well, what's wrong with that? I'd sit down and write a letter if I was Ridgie.
Could have mailed it and still been waiting for it to arrive. Now, Australians have made changes. Terry Hill in big trouble. It has been an extraordinary night as far as the injury toll is concerned.
Get off a bit quicker, lads.
That will also cause problems, big ones, for Bob Fulton in the last 20.
Right, stand back up.
The most important set of 6 coming up so far.
Get him low.
Rodney Howe.
Let him up low.
35 away. Fittler, Daly, Andrew Johns. The men to find the way through. Perfect position just outside the 20. Switches on for Daly. Fittler's up the middle. Decoy for Lockyer. Now for Menzies, who has not got into much of the play when the Australians have been in attack. Rodney Howe. No fear. Back for Tuvey. Tuvey. Inside the 10, and now a penalty. Do they take the 2? Do they back themselves again? Yes, they do. They still get on with it. Fittler again. Absolutely relentless. Third set of 6. How do you hang on against this pressure? Harrigan, look at this commitment.
Well, that's how you hang on. You just roll your sleeves up and go to work. That's what they're doing.
Still searching. And a fumble at the play. The ball brings the house down. Touch and go, but he's got it. Nailed him for it. Tuvey can't believe it. But he's right on the spot as he has been all night.
They'll be a bit dirty about that, Australia. The referees may have allowed it to go on.
Terry Hill, Robbie O'Davis out early, never to be back in this test. Let's label this one the Battle of North Harbour. Still yet to be won, but a nice break for New Zealand.
Get him low.
Everybody's back to mates on the Anzac Day weekend. Not so tonight. Hanley errors have been squared up as Henry Paul finds some more space up the middle. Valuable metres. Wiki, especially strong in defence tonight. Nigel Vangana finds a couple, carries one past the 40. Last tackle, Ridge. Just gets it in, gets put down. Rodney Howe went on with it. Russell Smith said it was fine.
Oh, I think that was touch and go. I don't think there was too much in that.
Committed to the tackle was the call as Lockyer. Can't get away from Blackmore.
Oh, he nearly dropped it again.
Ran off. Just about no opportunities for him. Really has been a game of attrition amongst the engine room. You have to be proud of these guys, Toddy.
Well, you know, I just can't believe that Australia are trying to take on New Zealand in the forwards. We are very, very strong. We've shown that in the first half, but they still won't get it out to Daly and Renoff.
This time they try to go wide. Menzies. Last tackle. Fittler. Fine kick to the open spaces for Hoppy, but it's going to skid on that turf. Go way deep. They'll pick up 20 metres on a bonus.
Well, that's playing right into New Zealand's hands. Those sort of kicks are just going to slow the play down. I'd let the ball down if I was them and look for a pump to get it pumped up again.
Hermanson, what a night he's had. He answered the call in the first 60 seconds. Hand in there against Kosef. Well picked up. Penalty, they'll go a long way downtown.
Well, I thought in the first half the score flattered the Australian, the Kiwi side, but at the moment it's just all New Zealand. Australia aren't in it at the moment, not at all.
Ridge. Just short of the 50. Didn't try to put too much in it, didn't try and get greedy. Hermanson once more. Tongia. He puts it down. It is still there. Now another chance.
Well, good tackle there from Jeff Turvey. Little man on a big man. Pongi just dropping the ball in the power of the tackle. As you say, Pongi has won plays, had a great game out there tonight. Been a great battle amongst all the front rows.
Fittler. Nearly always from the scrum out at 5'8".
Well, Australia having to play Steve Menzies in the centres also.
Maybe I've waited far too long in this test match to raise the question about Laurie Daly's hamstring. Just haven't seen him take off at all. Thorne does, though. Gets support from Turvey. Turvey! Nearly snuck through. Now Daly with runners. And he is not 100%.
No doubt whatsoever. He's really struggling out there, Laurie Daly. Can't stretch out.
Andrew Johns. Terrific long ball out. Here's a chance. Still on out there. Andrew Johns kicking. Jones is there. Can he get back? And he does. They throw him back. Has to be a penalty, surely. Got to question whether this tackle was finished off.
Great little kick here from Johns. But Stacey Jones just acting as a second line of defence back there. Shoved into the end goal. I don't think there was too much wrong with that.
Got a backing. Apologised to Russell Smith. The call was fine.
Come on, get on with it. Matthew, come on.
So once more they will defend this line.
Taking too long to restart.
But as they have shown throughout the night, it is anything but a thin black and white one.
Keep looking at the 10.
Plenty of muscle, plenty of numbers. Australia to throw everything into this as we go inside.
Come on, Matthew, get
the
on
last
with it.
15. This is where it plays on the mind. 6-point gap for the Kiwis. They're searching for a converted try. Saylor went looking for it. Turvey went the other way. Found Kosef. Back for Lockyer. And back for Johns to try and step. But Pongi is there to monster him.
That's all New Zealand has to do. Just mark them off one at a time. Keep the numbers there.
18-12. Thorne looked at the referee to get on with it quickly. Daly again, cutting men out. Lockyer and a red off to the outside. You can't afford it. All the pressure finally tells. The only time tonight he's got a decent head start on anybody, he showed them when he put the foot down.
Yeah, good backline play here, just standing past, and the power man out wide coming onto the ball. Look here, great pass there from Lockyer. He knows he's had a horror game tonight, but he did something great there. And Steve Renoff just in the hole, Toddy.
Yeah, it's the first time they've shown the ball out wide to the backs, and Renoff has been starved of it. Just see what he can do when he gets the ball. He's a fantastic, electrifying player, and that's exactly what Australia needed. I don't think they can do it. I still back in New Zealand to win this one.
This was a Brisbane special. Lockyer and Renoff, who just shifted, shuffled out with the ball. Stacey Jones didn't know this man had got to the outside. They call him the Prince of Centres. 8th game for the Kangaroos. Has not scored a more important try.
As you said before, though, I think the major problem for Australia at the moment is Laurie Daly is obviously suffering from that hamstring injury. Just cannot stretch out. If he was right, he would have scored that try close to the line himself. He would have jinked through, but he just passed on.
Temptation will be to have Lockyer live in the line at 5'8". 2 from 3 for Rogers. This one to lock it up. They've still got it. What a game at 18-16. Laurie Daly, not 100%, tore his hamstring just a week ago. The clock is ticking on this all-important test match. Terry Hill keen to get back out any way he can. Got a double just when Australia looked as though they were in control, but comebacks galore in this. Heavy defence from Nigel Bunganara on Kosef. both sides. The greasy conditions just sweating on mistakes down near the danger zones. Tuvey, strong second half from him. Fittler hasn't quite got comfortable.
Well, they haven't let him get comfortable. They've marked him from the inside out. They've taken away that sidestep that he's got.
Daly kicked that, kept my eyes on him, really did hobble. Ridge just shepherds that over the sideline.
New Zealand employing pretty good slow-down tactics here. Kevin Iro come to the middle of the park.
Very few missed tackles, outstanding defences, 9 apiece.
Well, it's test footy. That's what you expect, high quality, and we're getting it out there tonight. Brad Thorne in the picture there. He's got a lot of proud relatives, I'm sure, around the countryside here in New Zealand.
Nigel Vangenaar trying to slip away from Matt Rogers. Can't. They spread it. Well done by Logan Swan to make sure of that difficult ball. McCracken looks on as one gets away. Kevin Iro picks up the dregs.
Just a little bit of disorganisation at the moment on the Kiwi side. Got to get their minds on the job.
Just slackened the pace a little. They don't want to try and slow it down yet. Still too much time to go. Ridge. Again, Rodney Howe went looking for him, but he comes up with a fine kick to get between Saylor and Lockyer. Surely not again down this corner. Inside their own 20. This is where they need to make it happen. Find a fumble. High shot from Ponga. He'll get a warning.
Well, Quinton Ponga going in and doing what front rows do in test matches. Hit hard. I thought he hit down below there to start. It may have ridden up, or it did right up.
Certainly
under the
bounced
chin.
up on impact. Thorne. Now for Harrigan. Joe Vangenaar sorts him out. These two will go around again on Sunday at Ericsson. Lazarus sending out the big guns for the vital later stages. Fittler again. Penalties just to New Zealand. Johns. Up for Tuvey. Menzies thrown to ground.
Well, Menzies took that ball flat-footed. That's why he was thrown to ground. Frank's just wishing the clock would go quicker.
Granoff again. Well taken and heavily by Blackmore. Last tackle. Long way out. Johns. Just in behind the line. Jones is there. Gets away from Johns. Can't get away from Daly. Now he does. And takes it back to the 20.
Well, you've got to question that kick there.
Just throwing everything into it. They know how to really play at the end of a big game, the Australians, and they look as though the Kiwis just need a good passage, good set of play to get away from here.
Well, they just got to get some field position. That's all they need. Just don't get sucked into an arm wrestle. They've got the game if they keep using it.
Good skill. Good ball up from Ponga, outstanding tonight. Just a 2 in it at 18-16. Stacey Jones made sure of the win last year here. Wrapping it up with some brilliant play at the finish. 7.5 to go. Ridge again gets it away from Lockyer. Plenty of time for the chase as he offhands to Saylor. Weary forwards wandering back for the Australians, and Lockyer takes it up for them out of dummy half. There was not a lot. The so-called experts told him that thought it would be this close, this late.
Well, everybody I spoke to thought that Australia will probably win this one. The man for man, they've just had so many class players out wide, but they've played really into New Zealand's hands. They've tried to take them on the forwards, and they've been belted by the New Zealand forwards. New Zealand have had a fantastic game out there, and I can't see them losing this one.
Well, Toddy, they put skill on them. That's what they've done.
6.5 to go.
Yeah, they've certainly got a few passes. When they strung their passes together, New Zealand look very dangerous. Stacey Jones is out of firing it. Matthew Riggs is in defence, has hit Jeff Tuvey in her last couple of last-ditch tackles and saved a certain couple of tries.
Hoppy. not making a lot of mistakes at the moment. The Australians playing the right game, kicking down deep, trying to stay at this end of the field. Been a while, long while since the Kiwis have been up the other end in possession.
Yeah, they've got to get that field position. But I agree with Cotty. I don't think Australia can win it now. I think they fired all their big guns and they come out with a bit of damp gunpowder, I reckon. I'd hate to say that to you.
2 points in it, still nearly 6 minutes remaining. They lose it. More possession for Australia. Rodney Howe. Reuben Wiki climbs aboard.
Oh, Reuben Wiki, he's just been sensational. He's got a Superman outfit under that New Zealand jumper, I'll tell you.
Wendell Saylor. All Albani's lonesome out on the wing.
Won't be too keen on coming to North Harbour again, Wendell Saylor. Not a happy place for him.
Harrigan. Still trying to find that special magic. It got away from Daly, and he could not stretch with it. He could not stretch to get there with the hamstring. He looks at Russell Smith, but you just watch, favouring the hamstring.
Yeah, well, he knows he's crook. He just has not got that jink. He's captain of the side playing on courage out there at the moment because they've got so many wounded players. That man there, he's probably chewed 5 pens by now. He was looking for desire and commitment, and he's got it in bagfuls out there tonight.
Now a scrum feed should come their way on the 40. The Australians trying to screw the scrum to come up with a feed. Can't find it. From this set of 6, they should finish somewhere down near the other 20.
Well, this set of 6 could put the Australians totally out of business.
Henry Paul knows the right way, straight from dummy half. Heavily hit in the tackle. Now he gets up crook.
Come on.
Grabbed his hand and fingers. Kevin Iro. Still Kevin Iro inside the Australian 40.
Come on, get with it, Paul.
Fine play from Nigel Vagana.
Well, he's got the call and he's put his hand up and he's doing a great job, the kid.
Here comes Joe. And a nice quick play the ball. Last tackle. Henry Paul for Ridge. Midfield bomb right near the post, right near the 10. Lockyer knocked back off the Australians. Who's grabbed it? Knocked on against.
On the last tackle.
New Zealand will be a handover. Daly quickly in search of it.
Yeah, great tactics there from Matthew Ridge, the midfield bomber. It's taken a lot of time out of this game. And they've gone now, the Australians. They cannot win it from here. Never mind looking like that. You don't cross all your fingers and hands and everything else you've got to cross.
Just the two in it. Just the two as Rodney Howe gets him and he loses it. This is where they should wrap it. Crowds all on their feet. Who lost it? Tuvey gets up questioning. Howe loses it first. Has to be a New Zealand feed. This is where they can pick off arguably their greatest test win.
Well, Henry Paul going into that tackle. That's what jolted the ball out to start with. Only a little man onto a big man and he just flew at him.
Just look out, they're all standing.
Come on, Phil. Come on, get it.
6 tackles coming their way. They don't need to do anything silly. Robbie Paul. Outstanding second half from everybody in the New Zealand strip. What a comeback just before half-time when Australia looked to be so much in control.
They'll just go for a field goal here and just wind the clock down a bit more. Or score a try. It's getting that easy.
Cavallaro, Andrew! That's unbelievable, it's gone! Cop that, they say. Take that, and take that back across the Tasman. The Australians, the world champs, knocked out.
Well, they could have gone for a field goal, but tries are coming so easy. Big Kevin Iro, the beast. I called him a mystery a few weeks ago. That was a beast try, Toddy.
Oh, that's just fantastic being down here. I'm so proud of these players. They've given everything this side. And look at the big beast, a little step there. He took on 4 Aussies and come out on top. Great stuff from a great team tonight.
Have a look at the smiles on all of these dials. Terry Hill got a double for Australia, but this is the most important double. Iro. interchange bench to set up the biggest party you're going to see in Auckland in 1998.
And I'll tell you now, Ridgie will slot this straight down the middle just to finish the night off for you.
Time off, taking too long.
Inside the last 60 seconds. What a victory. What a comeback. Can't remember a test match where both sides have been hurt so heavily on the interchange bench. And how special does that make the fight back to dig deep?
I can't remember a time that New Zealand Rugby League ever needed this sort of performance like they did today. And the guys have come up with it. They've been absolutely sensational.
Every cake needs the right icing. This night tonight needs this, just to make it nice and sweet, finish it off. Nobody's sitting here at North Harbour. Just away. All but about 10 seconds. Ridge hurries back the Australians, looking for an absolute miracle. They're all offsides from the kicker. It's gone, it's over, forget about it. Amazing, staggering, quite stunning, and simply unbelievable. Said it plenty of times over here, haven't said it for a while. Sensational stuff.
Well, I've got to say it as well, it was sensational.
The Paul brothers got through so much work. What a forward pack display. Should set up a monument for guys like Quentin Pongia tonight.
And Ruben Wiki.
Ridge found his best form in a badly beaten side last week for the Warriors. Plenty of work. So solid. Now the penalty still has to be awarded. Everybody's got to remember the ball went out on the full. The Australians are headed off to the dressing room, said, you can go without us. Russell Smith's trying to get everybody off the field. We've got trucks on the field. Got a few guys here who haven't remembered the rule book. One now, Russell Smith. How about a quick...
Hang on, drop it. Let me restart play. Let's get the people off the field first. Get them back 10.
Ridgie, just kick a goal.
Hang on. Let me get some semblance of order. Hang on.
Reggie hearing plenty of taunts from some former Manly teammates, goes out looking for Kosef. The arm wrestle was a huge one, but I tell you what, it was won in no uncertain fashion by the team that has made sure that International Rugby League is alive and well. The roar will be heard right all the way to Great Britain as the world champs settle plenty of scores at 22-16. What a night as the party gets into full strength.
The try that sealed the win for the Kiwis on this wonderful night at North Harbour Stadium in Albany over the Kangaroos, 22 points to 16, the final score. And in the last two tests the Kiwis have played against the Kangaroos, been a robot to get up on them.
How you get up, and it's outstanding, I think, when dreams come true. Yeah, we talked at the top of the show, how do you pay back? That's how you pay back, and it was a good effort. A funny game. I think at times it was frustrating, particularly in the second half, where it looked as though they were on a mission of being maybe a little suicidal, no one wanting the football, and then the Australians found it difficult, particularly Lockyer.
All right, 22-16 the final score. Why don't we just see what the post-match reaction is like? I believe Toddy's got one of the stars in Stacey Jones.
Yes, I certainly have got one of the stars with me down here, Stephen. Stacey, fantastic effort out there by the boys.
Huge effort. We're just hanging in there for the last 20 minutes trying to hold out, and you know, we did it in the end.
The first half was very, very tough. That first 20, very tough.
Yeah, I think they scored a couple of tries, sort of gets run a play from a kick, and you know, we just sort of made a few errors that made them get into a half and score the try. So, you know, and we picked ourselves up from that.
Well, well done. I'll let you go and celebrate all the boys. Fantastic game. Well done, Stacey.
Cheers, Toddy. Thanks.
So there you have it, Stacey Jones, one of the real stars in this Kiwi victory this evening in Albany. A lot of stars for the New Zealanders tonight. In particular, I thought Ruben Wickie and Richard Blackmore had very strong games.
Well, Ruben Wickie, particularly defensively, the guy was strong and coming with a number of efforts that just absolutely monstered the opposition. I think Quentin Pongia was strong in the forward pack. He led, and I think it gave a lot of opportunity, I think, for Henry Paul. I thought he excelled in the number 9 show.
Robbie Paul, what have you?
Robbie Paul, I think, individually played well, but I think maybe the game didn't allow it, but there certainly was no fluency out wide.
There were times there tonight when I thought that the roll-on might not just happen for the New Zealand side, because they got one up, then fell back, got back, fell up, you know.
Well, there were moments, particularly when Lockyer was having a nightmare, where perhaps we had our foot on their throat, we just couldn't finish it. But Jared as well came up with some big hits.
Joe Wagner, certainly a crowd favourite, but he did again put his hand up. A shame about Richard Barnett, his left hand strapped. It would appear that he has broken a bone in that. Not good news for Sydney City.
Well, it's not, I guess, also for maybe what's ahead of the Auckland Warriors on Sunday, because this is a big match. It's going to be one match to come down from.
The comment was passed tonight. You look at the Australians get rattled. They don't like not playing their plan.
Oh, they don't like staying within a structure, and once you get in there and harass, I think they find it very difficult to come back.
All right, let's go sideline again. One of the other stars of this Kiwi side tonight in the second row, Jared McCracken with Toddy.
Yeah, he certainly is one of the stars tonight. Crackers, fantastic effort there in the forwards, eh?
Yeah, thanks, Toddy, mate. It's like my debut again today, you know, like I played in the back row, and it's the first game for a couple of years, and mate, I enjoyed it out there tonight, you know. It was just like my debut again.
She was very tough early on. There was at the point to go out there and really muscle them up in the forwards early on.
Well, you know, they picked the big side, mate. You know, they picked all the big men that go forward. You know, all the guys that could get good yardage for them. And we knew if we could stop there, go forward, and really stick it into their big fellas, we'll be in with a chance.
Well done, congratulations.
No worries, Toddy.
Big thank you to all you people for turning up tonight. The support was tremendous. For the faxes that everybody sent during the week, awesome. We really felt the spirit out there tonight, and we delivered. But as far as Australia is concerned, they're a great side. We've beaten them once. We've got to beat them again in November, and then we can say we're a good side. To Frank and the coaching staff, you did a great job. Cheers, fellas. And can't forget the sponsors, to Visa. Once again, you guys, thanks heaps.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formalities. Thank you very much for your support. We hope to see you back at the end of the year for the remaining...
Matthew Ridge, the victorious captain, 22-16, the final score. I thought for a while that he just wasn't on top of his game, but the way he got in the face, particularly when I saw them, Harrigan, they got right in Harrigan's face. Matthew went straight and said, gotcha.
And it started right at the top of the game where he got into Terry Hill and made it quite clear where he was. And Matthew played a big part, albeit that his game in the kick return, not as strong in the first 40. But I thought in the last 20 he really came through and led.
Terry Hill going off, how much did that affect the attacking power of the Australians?
Well, who really cares?
You're just soaking this one up. You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
I think it's fantastic, you know, to see dreams come true, and yeah, to put 2 in a row. Yeah, we did it on them last year, and to back up again now and win another. I think it's a great effort and well done.
When you talk about dreams, I think your heart really must go out to one player that was a late call-up. Terry Hermanson scored a try and did exactly the job he was asked of.
Well, he came out with a big blow, or the big challenge in the first 40, and he responded well by coming back with that try, and a good effort. Showed a lot of strength. Yeah, you talked earlier about respect. Some of these guys went into this game already having earned that respect. Some of them, like Big Joe Wagner, I think they just instilled a little bit more. The way that they took on the Harrigans, they earned some respect tonight.
The jubilant Kiwis, after beating the Australians 22 points to 16 at North Harbour Stadium in Albany, Lion Red Friday night football once again proves to be a great night for football, and there is still more to come. Shortly we'll be off to Lancaster Park from Christchurch for the Canterbury Crusaders against the Otago Highlanders. Let's go side on with Toddy, victorious captain Matthew Ridge, I believe.
Yes, I've got Captain Courageous here, Matthew Ridge. Fine effort from the boys.
was awesome, mate. We went out there, we tried really hard, we hung in Toddy at 12-2. We weren't playing badly, we were playing quite well, we just didn't have a lot of luck, you know, we stuck in there. There was a lot of guts, a lot of character in that win. Really proud of the guys, and big thank you to New Zealand. We really felt the support during the week. They were just absolutely tremendous. The faxes, the people that showed up here tonight, was awesome.
Now, the first half you had a couple of injuries. Johnny Lomax gone for x-rays. Richie Barnett, broken hand. You know, second half was a tough one.
Oh, mate, you did right. You know, sitting in there at half-time, we had 2 reserves to play with in the second half, and against a side like Australia, it's always going to be tough. But we dug deep for this, mate. You know, and we talked about it all week. We talked about it tonight. We talked about going out there and playing for 80, and I tell you what, we played for 85.
Well done. Go and enjoy with the boys. It was a fantastic finish. Matthew Ridge, victorious captain. Well done.
On you, Toddy. Well done. And 22 points to 16, the final score. One final thought from a very happy Peter Ropati. It's not over yet. There's still one more test to play.
I think it's great that on the day that we get kicked out by News Limited, they no longer want us. They give us a bucket full of cash and we win the Anzac Test. Who cares? Good stuff.
All right, Lion Red Friday Night Football continues to rock your Friday around New Zealand. Good to have you along. Particularly, I think, down in the glacier areas. Franz Lieber getting us right down in the South Island. Good to have you along. Still to come, not too far away, the Crusaders, the Highlanders from the Fort Lancaster in just a minute on Lion Red Friday Night Football.